Hi guys, it is Friday, August 2nd. I'm trying to start weekly vlogs for the month of August. This month is the NEWTs Readathon that I'm participating in, so I thought maybe it would be a fun time to have weekly vlogs and to track my progress in the Readathon. And so that's what I'm going to be doing today. I was going to start yesterday and then didn't get home till late, and there was no light to film by, so I'm starting today, and I didn't read anything yesterday anyway since I had to work, so I'm starting today on August 2nd, and I'll probably do 4 of these vlogs. I'm not exactly sure which day they're going to go from or to, but that is my plan. Also, shout out to Sweet Sequels, whose Manderly shirt I am wearing today. I absolutely love her clothes, and this is my favorite shirt by her. So I read Rebecca last month and loved it, and watched the movie and loved it, and so I'm just a little obsessed right now. Anyway, so for the NEWTs Readathon, I am going for the career of healer. I have all my owls done between last year and this year. I finished all my owls, and so then I am going for my NEWTs. And for the healer career, you need an E in Transfiguration, an E in Herbology, an E in Charms, an E in Defense Against the Dark Arts, and an E in Potions. So that, if I follow all the rules correctly, is a total of 10 books, which is a lot of books. So for each category, in order to obtain an E, which is exceeds expectations, you have to read a book for an A, which is acceptable, and then a second book for an E, which is exceeds expectations, and you have to read them in the correct order. I have kind of a tentative TBR picked out. However, I wanted to just make it a huge stack of books and list of books so that I could pick and choose kind of what I was in the mood to read for. So I don't have anything totally set in stone. I have maybe like 2 to 5 options for each prompt. And once I get to that prompt or feel like reading a certain book, I am going to read that. I have finished one book already, though, for the Readathon, which I finished this morning. And so for my Transfiguration Owl, sorry, I have to keep looking at my notes over here. For my Transfiguration Owl, to get an A, I had to read a book that had LGBTQA plus representation in it. And I read The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang, and this is my library says YA, middle grade-ish graphic novel. It's actually pretty long. I was surprised at the length of it when I got this from the library. And it's a graphic novel about a prince who likes to wear dresses, and his dressmaker, whom he employs to make these dresses for him, and she really wants to be a famous designer one day. And so it kind of goes through some of like his feelings and discovering things about himself and who he is, and you know, the person that he is on the inside, and balancing that with his expectations as a prince, and how his family and those around him perceive him, as well as her dreams to be a fashion designer, and how his secrets kind of mean that she can't be recognized for her work. And so it kind of is about their friendship and their relationship, and each of them discovering who they are and what they want in life. And it was really a sweet story, and I really liked the art style and some of the dresses she created. Let me find one of them for you. I mean, there's one right there. That's one of the dresses. There was this one, which was like the first dress she designed for him. So it was just a really fun, sweet, quick read, and I really liked it. So my plans for the rest of the day are I have to go to the library and pick up some books I have on hold that are for this readathon and just in general for some of my buddy reads. And then I think I might listen to an audiobook while I do that and while I run some errands and clean my house. Because the herbology prompt, the first one for acceptable, is Mandrake, quick grab your headphones and listen to an audiobook. So I think I have the audiobook of On Luna Time by Amber Crowley, which is a pretty short audiobook. It's only like 4.5 hours. And so I didn't get to that one for for the reading rush, and so I'm hoping to maybe get to that one this month. So that is my plan for my readathon. I'll show you kind of my bullet journal spread I did for the readathon too. I have my August calendar with all the Harry Potter inspired goodness, and then I have my NEWTs with all the prompts and my like TBR ideas. So that's my bullet journal that goes with the NEWTs readathon and the first book I read for the readathon. So I will check in again with you guys when I've read something more. Hey guys, it's been a hot minute since I checked in for this reading vlog. It's Friday, August 9th, and I've been reading a bit this week, so I thought I would catch you up on what I've been reading and just let you know a little bit. I know I already talked about The Prince and the Dressmaker in my last clip, and so I also finished another book. I finished listening to the audiobook of On Luna Time by Amber Crowley this week, and I really enjoyed this audiobook. It's short and sweet. It's only like 4.5 hours long, so it didn't take me very long at all to get through it, and it's narrated by Murphy Napier, who has a YouTube channel. I will link her down below. She's one of my fave YouTubers, and I'm part of her Patreon. Actually, some of the books that I'm going to talk about a little later, I'm buddy reading in a group with her. And I just really like her audiobook narrations. She does really sweet voices. There's some southern accents in it, and I just loved them. And I really enjoyed this book. It is a YA kind of magical realism book that focuses on a girl, and specifically a family of women who can time travel. And specifically, they can time travel on their 18th birthday or near their 18th birthday, and it has to do with the full moon. And so it's about this girl named Vanessa, and she has never known her mother. And her mother leaves a note for her explaining to her how the time travel works and just telling her that she needs to go to this place at this time and jump off a pier, basically. And so she goes, and it's just kind of a magical adventure, and there's all these rules for women who are on Luna Time, as they call it, and they can travel for like one cycle of the moon, and they just kind of get put into whatever year the magic feels like putting them. And so our main character goes back to 1945, and I absolutely loved the feel of the time period. Like, it felt a little historical fiction-y, but it was also fun to see someone who's like out of that time adjust to that way of life. And it was just really sweet. Like, I wanted to go back and live in 1945, or it wasn't quite 1945, it was somewhere around there though. But obviously time travel makes things difficult. Usually I dislike time travel. I don't really like it, especially I don't like it as a like secondary plot device. I'm a little bit more okay with it when the whole book is focused on time travel, which this is, but I don't usually like time travel that involves jumping into your own timeline and or your direct lineage's timeline, if that makes sense. But I really loved this book, and I loved all the characters in this book and how they interacted, and the ending just had me totally blown away. I cannot wait for the second one. I did not know that it was a series going in. I thought it was just a standalone, so that surprised me a little bit, but I really, really liked this book, and I can't wait to read the next one. So the other two books that I am working on reading this week are The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I am about 150 pages into this book. I am buddy reading this with Murphy Napier's Patreon group, And I'm really liking this one. I'm listening to it on audio, but I have to follow along in the physical book because I feel like this book is a little too smart for me. Like, this world building and the magic system and everything in this is just like a little over, like, hard to grasp, like in a good way. Like, it's really well realized and thought out, but I have to follow along, because if I'm just listening, I will miss stuff and really badly miss things, and then feel like I need to go reread things so that I don't miss things. And so I'm really enjoying this one. I am almost caught up with our buddy read. So this one is the book that I'm reading for Pick a Book with a Gorgeous Cover. I really like just the simplicity of this cover, but the colors are my favorite part about this cover, and especially like the next ones. I think the next one or the third one in this series is like pink and purple on the cover, and I don't know, I just think together as a series these have really pretty covers. It's probably not my most favorite cover ever. I don't think it's the world's most beautiful cover, but I really needed a book. I really needed a prompt for this book, so I picked that one. So anyway, I think it's pretty enough for me to say I think it has a gorgeous cover. It's simple. I don't know. I don't hate it. So there's that. I'm really liking this book. The writing is just beautiful. Like, this is really well done prose writing with really intense world building and really kind of intense themes too. This is definitely adult. There's definitely violence and sexually explicit topics. But it's really, really good so far. We follow 3 characters that switch perspectives, and one of the character perspectives is written in second person. And I have not read many books written in second person. One of the girls that we're buddy reading it with said it kind of feels like a choose your own adventure, but there's no choosing. You just follow the adventure, and it definitely does. Like, I don't know. I like how the second person narrative is written, and I've heard that there's like a reason for it, and once you figure it out, it's just like mind-blowing. So I'm really excited about that bit of this book. So I'm very intrigued. I want to find out more. I'm really enjoying reading the 5th season. Oh man, my allergies are killing me, so I apologize if I sound nasally and like my throat is really dry and like I'm out of breath because I can't breathe enough. Oh man, and my eyes are watering terribly, so my glasses are on instead of my contacts, and it's just rough, guys. It's rough. So the other book that I am working on is The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. I am also listening to this one, but I have the physical book to follow along with. I'm only like 40 pages into this one, and unfortunately this is one of the ones that I need to read kind of fast. And again, with this one, I do like listening to the audiobook, but I still feel like I need to follow along in this one because there's accents and things go kind of fast, and I can't quite wrap my head around what's happening. So I'm trying to read this one quickly, but also like catch what's going on. And honestly, this book would probably work for Gorgeous Cover because this cover is beautiful and I love. But I mean, I guess I could do this one for Gorgeous Cover and this one for Rita Friend's favorite book. She's not my friend, but I know Reagan from Peru's Project loves this book. So she's kind of a friend, and I think Murphy loved it, and I think Jen from the Book Refuge loved this one. I was going to read this one because this is like Murphy's favorite book. Maybe I'll swap them, and I'll do this one as Rita Friend's favorite book because I might finish this one sooner than this one. We'll see. We'll see whichever one I finish first will be my Rita Friend's favorite book, and the other one will be Read a Book with a Gorgeous Cover. Because that's how I'm going to do my NEWTs, guys. I'm going to make my reading fit my NEWTs. Yeah. No, I'm going to make my NEWTs fit my reading. I said that backwards. So anyway, The Lies of Locke Lamora. This is a fantasy book about a group of thieves called the Gentlemen Bastards, and they are learning to steal and pulling off these crazy heists. And that's kind of all I know about this book, is that it's a really good thief book, which I love. I love me a good heist book. I've heard so many good things about this book. I've heard the world building is incredible and fantastic, even though it just takes place in one city. And I can't even figure out if this is like when this is set, because it's definitely like horses and carriages. But then there's like talk of aliens, and I don't know if that's true. That's like the same with this. Like, it seems really old-fashioned, but then there's like all of these like remnants of destroyed civilizations that like have giant obelisks in the sky. I don't even know what an obelisk is. I gotta figure that out still too. See? Too smart for me. And I'm not a stupid person. Or at least I like to think that I'm not a stupid person. Anyway, back to this book. It's really good so far. You start off with like Locke as a child and then kind of switches to as he's an adult, and I'm still in the middle of the first chapter, and so they're still just like trying to pull off their very first heist, or like the very first heist of the book. So it's kind of interesting to see like the buildup of that, and to meet their little crew, and to learn a little bit about Locke and where he came from. These chapters are really, really long though. Like each of the chapters have parts. And so it's taking me kind of a long time to get through this chapter, but I have little breaks that I can stop at, which is helpful. But yeah, I'm really enjoying The Lies of Locke Lamora. I really want to fly through this one, and both this one and the 5th season. And I also realized the other day that like both of these books are either, if they're not 500 pages, they're very close to 500 pages. I think this one's like 450 and like 499. And then I was going to read The Well of Ascension, which is like over 500 pages. And then I also want to read The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, which is also over 500 pages. That's a lot of really long books to read for this readathon. Might have to reconsider this. But so far, these are the two that I'm working on. I'm debating on starting The Long Way to the Small Angry Planet thing soon. I'm also supposed to be buddy reading that one, and our first discussion through chapter 2 is supposed to be tomorrow. I work tonight, so maybe if I get a little off time at work or downtime at work, I'll try and read that one, because I have that one on my Kindle, so it's on my phone and on my Kindle. So that's how my reading has been going this week. This will probably be my last check-in, and the end of this vlog. Sorry, I'm not very good at vlogging. I'm still working on it. I'm still trying out new backgrounds too, and new places to film, and the lighting up here is not very good because this is literally the only window in my bedroom. Well, not the only window, but the other ones are really tiny. So all the lighting comes in behind me, but I think it's like a pretty backdrop. I got a new desk, and it's just tucked into the dormer here, and I think it's really cute. And so I want to like be able to film up here, but the lighting sucks. So we'll see. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys are reading for your NEWTs down below, because I would love to know. Happy reading, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Oh, and let me know if you think I'm crazy for including this many big books in my NEWTs readathon. I can't talk today. Goodbye.